Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you here is very stupid. But it's at that level of stupid where it's just, is it really stupid if it works? What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video, coming at you with a Diriga video. Who would have thought? Diriga. I remember when I first saw this thing, I was like, this thing looks stupid. It does, but that was back then, and this is now. Things have changed, all because of this guy, Senor Pablo. What changes have they done to Diriga to make it usable? Well, for one, companions don't die. The stats have been buffed, and companions overall have gotten an upgrade to their mods. Now we've taken this guy to be a Steel Path AoE nuke. Now for those wondering, oh, but you can just use the Helios. It can do some funny things. Yes, the Helios has gotten a bit of popularity because of a feature. Enjoy that feature until it is patched, but I'm here with a build that doesn't require features to be used, but a nice synergy between a Sentinel, a weapon, and your Warframe. And what Warframe might that be? Funny enough, Citrine. However, Citrine is not here to be the main center of attraction. She's here as an aid to help Diriga dish out as much damage as it needs to. But why Citrine? Because she's the only Warframe in the game that can buff all of your weapons' status chance and status duration, thanks to this freaking ability, Prismatic Gem. This is a gem that you place on the ground, and it shoots rainbows. And these rainbows correspond to the main singular elemental types: heat, toxin, electric, and cold. But do not overlook her other abilities. Fractured Blast is going to be my main source of energy income. And for the Helminth ability, I am using Terrify. Terrify is used to armor strip in a massive AoE, instantaneously, and through walls. And I'll pair Terrify with its augment, Creeping Terrify, to slow down enemies, because this is a massive AoE armor strip. And just as the name entails, you terrify enemies. They run away from you in fear. Creeping Terrify slows down their movement, so I'm able to catch up to them. Because if you're in a large tile set, well, use this ability, everybody's gonna run away, and you're just gonna be sitting there looking like a fool. To damage my enemies pretty fast with Diriga, I am using the Hellstrom. This is a burst fire weapon that shoots out projectiles that explode on impact. And the weapon has a decent status chance, and the build is not even going to use any sort of crit buffs. This is a pure status DPS loadout. So to see how this build works, let's go into Steel Path. Alright boys, here we are in Steel Path. I'm going to show you how this build works step by step, what abilities to activate in what order, and what to prioritize on. Now this build does have one weakness. Ah, great, it's violence again. Actually, no, it's Overguard. Now why is that? Because this is a heavy DOT build, and Diriga doesn't have anything that's going to strip that Overguard fairly quickly. So that's where my Felox comes in. And killing an Eximus will also give me a buff. But there should be another weakness, right? With Terrify. What's that? It cannot armor strip Acolytes. Don't worry, we have that sorted. So let's get this build showcase on the road. Activate my second ability. This is going to be our damage reduction, main survivability. Let's go to a better tile set. Gonna put our 3 here. Armor strip. And look at Diriga slay everything. Oh yeah. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. And look at all these energy orbs. Energy isn't an issue here because of Citrine's first ability. Prime them, press 1, armor strip, and Diriga is going to deal everything else. These guys still have armor? Well, it's gone now. Kill them, Diriga. And just make sure enemies are primed with viral so Diriga can deal additional damage, since we're not modding our Diriga for viral. However, gas and electric, so we can get that juicy AoE DPS going. Look at that. Now, why gas and electric? Because gas clouds proc on each other, providing you additional clouds that deal additional damage to, as you can see right there. And these clouds remain even after death, and they're dealing damage to these enemies. And electric is also another AoE elemental damage type. It stuns enemies, which pairs really well to crowd control them and deal damage continuously until they die. And of course, my Prismatic Gem is aiding this damage to the next level. Without Prismatic Gem, this DPS will not be possible because it lacks the status chance. Alright, we got our first Eximus here. I'm going to do a little armor strip, kill this Eximus, and pay attention. We just got a new buff here, Momentous Bond. This gives my Diriga a new elemental damage type that is a separate instance of damage. Don't worry about the life support. I'm here just showcasing the build step by step. Yeah, look at that chain lightning gaming. And it's crowd controlling all of these guys. Boom, dead. And we have so much energy on the ground. Now we're just going to wait for the Acolyte to show up just so we can show you how quickly we can deal with it. Even if it's violence. That's the best part. Because it doesn't matter if it's violence or whoever. This will kill any Acolyte with ease. Unfortunately, I didn't get the best towel set to showcase this loadout. Oh, perfect. And it's violence as well. This is exactly what we needed. Violence shows up. Here we go. Come on, Diriga. Ah! Wait, let's not stand still. We're taking damage. Oh, there we go. Violence is dead. Now, this is not a conventional build that you should use, but it is a very functional build. It's a stupid build. Holy crap. Holy crap, it's a stupid build. And good thing we even got violence, just to showcase that violence isn't a problem. Now, I bet some of you were confused. How did I instantly armor strip that Acolyte? Well, it's thanks to a melee, which I will get to. But first, let's take a look at all of these builds. Funny enough, we're not starting off with the Warframe, but the Diriga himself. And with the magic of editing, we're in a different area. So what is Diriga known for? Well, it's arc coil. Since it's a jellyfish, yes, that's jellyfish for those who didn't get the concept, it is a Grenier jellyfish. So it has this arc coil that stings enemies and stuns them while dealing electric damage. So it's basically based around shocking things. However, it comes with a sniper Sentinel weapon. Let's take a look at the build. First thing I'm going to put here is Arc Coil. Sentinel will zap up to 7 enemies within a 10-meter radius, dealing 100 electricity damage with a 10% status chance. Second is Calculated Shot. Sentinel charges a powerful shot and fires at the first enemy within 70 meters. I am using the Hellstrom, and it's a projectile weapon, so it can target an enemy far away, send out these homing missiles. Yes, they're actually homing. We don't have to worry about that. We're dealing everything in close quarters. However, if there is an enemy that's sitting far away and trying to run away from you like an Acolyte, Mystic Bond, which is a flex slot, by the way. You can slot this out and put whatever you want. This just allows me to cast an ability without consuming energy after my companion has used 5 abilities. I was going to do this fairly quickly with these two combined. Moving over to Contagious Bond. When your companion kills an enemy afflicted with a status effect, 50% of that status effect spreads to other enemies. And what status effect are we dealing? Electric and gas. Oh, wow. So this adds a bit more of an AoE. And the other mods. Momentous Bond. This is another synergy. Killing an Eximus grants 120% bonus of a random element to your companions for 30 seconds and reduces the companion's recovery time. So killing an Eximus gives my companion a bonus elemental damage type. It can be anything. Viral, magnetic, it doesn't matter. Anything. So it's another DPS boost. Manifold Bond reduces the cooldown timers of my companion's abilities when you kill enemies with 3 or more status effects. And what are we doing? A bunch of those status effects. So this is triggering like crazy. It has Dookie armor and Dookie shields with a large health pool. So just shove in Enhanced Vitality, give it a large health pool. Enemies are going to be crowd controlled. They're not going to be targeting your companion. Now for the Hellstrom. As stated, launches a swarm of micro missiles. These are burst fire micro missiles with slight homing and have an explosion radius of 3 meters. Yes, you can expand this explosion radius with primed firestorm. It's a primary weapon, by the way. However, you get 1.3 meters, so it's not needed. It's not needed. That's what I'm saying. It's not needed. Anyway, let's take a look at the Hellstrom build. For my base damage, why did I choose heavy caliber? Well, because of that -5 accuracy. So it spreads those missiles. Just a little bit of AoE increase. Faction damage mod. Yes, this is to double dip my DOTs, and we're dealing nothing but damage over time here. Split chamber for the multi-shot. Terminal velocity for the projectile flight speed, so it can go to the enemy faster. Malignant force and thermite rounds to form gas. And finally, Stormbringer for the electric damage. Gas and electric, that's all you need. And finally, vial acceleration to increase the fire rates. Increasing the fire rate is super important on this thing. It's a burst fire. You want to go as fast as it can, and this helps it out. And moving on to the Warframe build, I've opted for 4 blue shards to give me energy maximum because we're not going to be slotting any energy on the Warframe. However, to make this better, I highly recommend 3 Tauforge blue shards for energy. So 1, 2, and 3, which will give you space for 2 yellow shards for casting speed. That is the route that I recommend for this Warframe. Build is simple. Corrosive projection of the aura. This is just for the initial armor strip, because we are starting out with 138 strength. You need 167-68% strength to get a full 100% armor strip with Terrify. However, if you put corrosive projection, it reduces that requirement. So for the initial cast, this is very useful. Otherwise, use whatever aura you want, because I'm using Helminth Augmented. Range at 265% with overextended, Augur Reach, and Archon Stretch will give me some energy regen. And the first ability already provides so much health orbs and energy orbs, which synergizes well with Equilibrium. Yes, if you're full HP, we get energy. For full energy, we get health. Nice vicious cycle of energy and health regen. Strength with only blind rage to counteract the negative strength from overextended. Notice how we lack efficiency. This is not even an issue. If you watch the gameplay demo that I showcased, we had so many energy orbs on the ground that we couldn't even loot them because we were full up. So efficiency isn't even an issue. Creeping Terrify here is very important. As I said earlier, casting Terrify will have those enemies run away from you in fear. Slowing them down allows you to catch up to them and kill them before they go out of line of sight from your Sentinel. And the final mod here is Natural Talent. Remember, if you have the 3 Tauforge blues, you can replace this easy by slotting in 2 Amber Shards. And then you will have a flex slot. And what is this flex slot? It can be anything you want. Multi-efficiency to give me additional duration with my Prismatic Gem. Very, very useful. And of course, my damage reduction ability. So as you can see, the build is very tight, all in favor to buff my Diriga's DPS. Now, what do we use to get rid of Eximus units? I'm using the Felarx. It's easy, it's brain dead, it's quick. You 2-tap, 1-tap, like it's not hard. That's all I'm saying. It's very good for single target DPS. For the evolution, projectile flight speed, we got some reload fire rate combo, reducing our crit chance so we can use devastating attrition. Meaning, if we don't crit, we get 2000% bonus damage. Pretty simple, right? Our base damage here, we got our multi-shot fire rate, and it's a slash build. I got fractalized reset and prime tactical pump. So boom, 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 instant reload. Epitaph modded for viral and heat, and the Aram Spinoza. This is to armor strip the Acolytes in 1 hit. Instant armor strip. You can also use the Vassalok if you want, but for the people who don't have the Vassalok, this is the build. A bunch of attack speed, attack speed, attack speed, attack speed, heavy attack wind-up speed, dispatch overdrive for some movement speed, cold here, so we can get some slows, and it combines with the toxin. Yes, it has innate toxin, it's free viral, and then boom, shattering impact. Unfortunately, viral doesn't proc on acolytes, so I also use this for demolists. But shattering impact is the most important mod here, because this thing throws out so many projectiles in 1 hit, and all of those hits will armor strip. You throw on all these barbs. You see those barbs? Look at those. Each of these hits will armor strip. Pretty straightforward, right? Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Diriga DPS build that nukes things very well. It's in Steel Path, and it's a companion that you thought you'll never use, but now you see it in action, doing stupid things, killing things as well. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it from me. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe. For more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace. Bye-bye now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.